What's up, guys? UFC 326 is this weekend. We've got Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira in the BMF title fight. It's their second time meeting after Charles losing the first fight by injury. Anyways, I'm here to break down my thoughts, predictions on the fights, and we are going to be doing it with this little device right here. We are going to be ripping a blinker pre every fight pick so that we can become the most omniscient fight picker to date. Right now, we are positive on the year. I think we're, like at the 64% range. At some point, I'm going to start displaying my record on here somewhere. But now, we have been blessed by Rigo to be able to do blinker picks. We already do pre-fight blinkers for every fight on the Fight Companions. Also, if you would like to join a competition to make $100 on each numbered event like we're having this weekend, feel free to join my Tapology over at tapology.com/groups/2048. So it'll be Man, We Gonna Have a Day is the group name. But if you come over to tapology.com/groups/2048, you can join my group like Pac-Man, like Nick Alexander, Rambu. These guys, they are all registered in here to win $100 if they just win this group. So you'll see last week, Donner won. That's a guy named DJ from my Fight Picks group, like Discord thing we do. He won. If this had been a numbered event, he would have won $100. So that comes directly out of my pocket. I do it through CashApp. Make sure you have CashApp. Make sure you have a Tapology account. All you have to do is do what we are going to do right now, and you'll be able to be eligible. Anyways, we are going to start with the prelims, break down all the way up to the main event, and then we'll be done. Anyways, first off, we've got Luke Fernandez versus Rodolfo Bellato. All right. Okay, here we go. Rodolfo Bellato, being a UFC vet, coming in against a Contender Series guy. Here on this channel, we don't love Contender Series guys coming in against a UFC vet. But this is Rodolfo Bellato, who blobs around in the cage, isn't that great of a fighter in general, but he does have a blockhead. Kind of hard to knock out with one shot, similar to Anthony Smith. I'm going to be picking round 1 KO for Luke Fernandez, because I don't like Rodolfo Bellato. I think he's bad. There you go. There's your breakdown on that one. Yeah. Luke Fernandez not being one of the greatest fighters ever, but able to beat Rafael Pergentinho. Yeah. This guy lost to Navajo Sterling. Couldn't beat Paul Craig or Jimmy Crute. It's big, tough losses. We move on to the next banger of the night, where we have guys who can barely win in the UFC. I might bring the women's coin flip for this, because, man, these are just two terrible fighters. We've got Gaston Bolaños versus Jung Young Lee. Ugh. Fuck's sake. Alright. Now that we're here, I'm picking Jung Young Lee. After seeing that his losses are to Hyder Emil and Daniel Santos versus Marcus McGee, who is a good loss to have, that's fine. Quang Lee? Quang Lee. We don't lose to Chinese folks in the UFC and then expect to be picked in our next fight. It's a tough one. So we're going to pick Jung Young Lee by... Went to decision with Blake Builder. Yizha. We'll go with decision. Seems like the safe pick here. Seems like the safe decision. Yeah. Moving on to Rafael Tobias versus Deer Nurgajai. Yeah. Let's just start by this. All right. So what we were looking for in this matchup is Rafael Tobias capable of a submission? He has submissions in his game. So we're going to pick Rafael Tobias by submission. In round number 1. There's your fight pick. This dude, Blinky, he blinks a lot. He doesn't do much other than like touch his face and blink at range. Or eye poke himself. And then, yeah, loses by submission. We have a flyweight fight. So that's great. Kevin Borjas being Sumer Durgee's last win. Mitch Raposo. This dude lost to Matt Schnell. I get it was 3 years ago. I can't pick a man who's lost to Matt Schnell. I'm going to pick Jesus Aguilar. This is no blinker needed. I don't pick flyweight fights with blinkers, I don't think. Because it's like a women's fight, to be fair. You know, you're not going to see many finishes. They're really not that technical outside of the top guys. They throw like heavyweights. They throw 1 to 2 punches in their combinations. Or when they're advancing. They're like, They're terrible. But whatever. Jesus Aguilar. Also having the name of the Savior. So, I mean, you know, can't hurt. His kill death record's better. Everything's kind of pointing up to Jesus. I'm going to pick Jesus Aguilar, better known as Jesus Aguilar. I'm going to pick him by the old faithful. Unanimous decision for a flyweight. Oh, beautiful. Also not blinkering for this. It's a flyweight fight. fights. It's a women's fight. I mean, his only win being Matt Schnell is kind of telling. 34 years old. Okay, here. I'll break down who we've got. We've got Cody Durden versus Naim Jargal. Two-man Dimbarel. It's not like either of these guys are good fighters. Cody Durden has the wrestling, so he has the advantage of being able to take the fight where he wants to. And I actually think that is better than anything Naim Jargal, Two-man Dimbarel can do. Sure, he can latch up a submission. He has one knockout in his career. This dude ain't knocking anybody out. I'm going to pick Cody Durden by decision. It may be because we have him linkered in 2 picks. So maybe I'm losing my fucking mind here. But I do think Cody Durden is the better of the 2 fighters. Naim Jargal is just a brawler that sometimes gets submissions. Sure, that might be all you need to be to beat Cody Durden because he's not a real fighter. But from what I've seen, neither is Naim Jargal. So I'm picking Cody Durden by decision for an upset. I think I've now picked 2 underdogs in a row. Yeah. We've got Ilia Topuria yet again for the second time on this card. He appears. Versus Ricky Turcios. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm picking him by submission because Ricky Turcios is just not one of the guys that you pick. By the way, here, we'll do this one. Ricky Turcios is just not a fighter. And he's not a guy that you pick to win fights. Ever. Unless he's against somebody like Cameron Smotherman level. We're going to be picking round 2 submission. Round 1. Round 2 submission for Alberto Montes. Ricky Turcios is scrappy. He might survive a couple submission attempts, but he is going to get submitted at some point during the fight. Yeah. So, I can remember Alberto Montes fighting, but it's been so long that I can't remember it. Beautiful, right? Hopefully he's been getting better. That's all we can hope for. Because he should just smash Ricky Turcios. Here comes another fighter that you can never pick. Out of his like 13 fights in the UFC, Cody Brundage has won like 3 of them. One of them being by disqualification. The other being by a slam knockout. So a fluky knockout, a disqualification. This dude has one real win in the UFC, I think. Not good. Not happening. Not picking him. Refuse to. Come up with a new blinker pin. Well, that one's dead. Alright. Again, like I said, we don't pick this specific guy, being Cody Brundage. We've got Cody Brundage versus Dante Johnson. I'm going to be picking Dante Johnson. Now, I do think he can get the submission here. Although it was hard for him to submit Cedricus Dumas, I'm going to be picking round 1 KO. I think we're going to get the good old Anthony Smith in the turtle position doing nothing. From Cody Brundage. Sorry. I'm a little inebriated. But yeah. I think that Cody Brundage gets finished in the first round, whether it be KO or submission. I'm leaning towards KO. But this will be an easy fight. Maybe they'll finally cut Cody Brundage after this. Because they finally cut Jose Medina. Finally. Oh. No. Don't you fucking... Don't you come over here. Stay over there. Next, we have a fight I'm not doing a blinker for. I'm not doing it. I refuse. Because I need to recover, for one. And two, I'm not interested in this fight. Like, this fight is between two fighters that will never amount to anything again. Long Zhao will never be a top contender, and Cody Garbrandt, although a former champion, that was just a brief moment. It was like a figment of our imagination. It almost didn't even exist. Sadly, I do think he's the better fighter of the two, and I'm going to be picking him by unanimous decision. Hello. No, stay in your bed. Oh, we're moving up. We're moving to the big boys. We've got Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. All right. This is a tough one to call, because my mouse is already on Bruno Ferreira. And I could tell you, that I really believe the same thing's going to happen. But at the same time, Gregory Rodriguez has gotten better. He's only lost to Jared Cannonier since by KO. I don't know. I see this as a very tough fight to call. I think Gregory Rodriguez gets it done, though. I think that, this is a tough fight for somebody of Bruno Fajeda's stature. I'm going to pick Rodriguez by decision. Hear me out. I think that this fight will play out at range. Maybe some grappling will get involved. Maybe. I doubt it. Because Gregory Rodriguez really doesn't grapple all that much, honestly. Even though he's a good grappler, he just doesn't grapple much. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could see Bruno Fajeda grappling more than I could see Gregory Rodriguez grappling, I guess. I don't know. Maybe Bruno Fajeda just wins again. You know? Like, sure, he lost to Abus, but he's beaten everybody else. And he's finished everybody except Vittori. Because, like, Bruno would have killed Hermanson, too. I don't fuck. I don't know. I'm really stuck up on this. This is a tough fight. Fuck, dude. I feel like everybody's leaning one way and it's gonna go the other. I think the same thing might happen, bro. Bruno Fajeda's only lost to one other dude. I'll go with Rodriguez. We'll see if it sticks. There's something about it, man. There's something I'm really feeling about Bruno Fajeda's fight style and everything. And RoboCop gases, bro. You know what? Give me Bruno Fajeda, round 2 KO. It's happening again. Same thing. I don't know. Don't ask me, bro. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. If you ain't blinking, you ain't thinking for this one. I fucked that one up. Yeah. I nearly died that time. It's alright. Happens to the best of us. I'm gonna have to even this out. Alright. You already know. Racially motivated Drew Dober is here. We know, statistically proven, Drew Dober does not lose to black dudes. This dude does not lose to black dudes. Now, if this dude was Puerto Rican, if he was Mexican, if he was white, Drew Dober would struggle to find the motivation here. But there's something about a chocolate-skinned individual that Drew Dober, he sees red even though it's black. There's something wrong. I don't know why he does this. I don't know where he grew up. Denver. Or he's fighting out of Denver. I don't recall Denver being too racist, but, you know, Drew Dober was taught this way, and he ends black fellas, unfortunately. So I'm going to be picking Drew Dober, because I'm not getting my fight pick wrong on this. Drew Dober will win, as he customarily does against black guys, by KO. So, Michael Johnson's little 3-fight streak is going to come to an end, sadly. Next, we got Kiwi versus Rob Font. I'm not taking more blinkers. I don't need them. I'm already omniscient. I've hit that point. That's why the good Lord made it spew from my nose a second ago instead. Made me look like fucking Raw Rosas Jr. Like, I'll take good hits for it or whatever, but I just can't take a blinker for it, sadly. My throat's cooked. I'm like Dan Hooker right now. Alright. We've got Rob Font versus Raw Rosas Jr. I'm picking an upset here. I'm picking Raw Rosas Jr. to win, because this is going to upset me. I'm just kidding. I think Rob Font wins. And I think Rob Font is going to shut down the takedowns. At least early on. And outstrike Rob Font from range, because he's a really good striker. And Raw Rosas Jr. is terrible at striking. He's good at grappling. He's really good at grappling. But he's terrible at striking. Unless he's massively improved. Which he could have. But also, Rob Font, shorter with a longer reach. I love that. I pick those almost every time. And it is a very, very good pick for me, typically. Shorter with a longer reach, I really like that. Underdog. I've got a lot of underdogs on this card. But you look at the losses. Those are real fighters. Look at who he's beaten. Do you know any of these fighters? Look at who he lost to. You know Christian Rodriguez. You know C-Rod. I'm just saying, Rob Font's on a different level. He is going to pick apart Raw Rosas Jr. this entire fight. It's not going to be close. I promise. It's not going to be a close fight. Until maybe the third round. Rob Font by decision. Maybe even by knockout sneakily. Honestly, round 2 knockout wouldn't surprise me because he did flatline Adrian Yanez. But Adrian Yanez is really aggressive, and I just don't know. I can't remember Raul's aggression levels. But I'm actually going to pick it to happen anyway. Round 2, KO for Rob Font. I think he's going to beat him down. Hit good body shots, overhands to the head, hooks in tight, and end up maybe not flatlining, because, I mean, look at the fucking chin on him, but TKO. Look at the chin. Like, he's going to get TKO'd, not knocked out. But it would be sick if he did get slimed out. Moving on to Reinier the Ridder versus Caio Borralho. Can't take blinkers right now. Sadly, I'll just have to take a hit for the rest of the show. Renner just coming off a big loss to Brendan Allen, and Caio Borralho just coming off of a big loss to Nasruddin Imavov. I think that Caio's actually just the better fighter overall here. Really, the only thing he needs to worry about is the knees of Reinier de Ridder. I think he's the better striker, obviously, on the feet. Now, is he the more dangerous striker? The knees make Reinier de Ridder dangerous. If you can avoid those, like if you can make him bring them up often and then shoot in right after and start attacking him, then it's not as problematic. So then he's not as anywhere near as much of an issue. Then Borralho is actually the more dangerous of the two. But Borralho already neutralized Brendan Allen in a grappling match, who neutralized Reinier de Ridder. Like, sure, you can't do grappling math like that, but like typically 1 + 1 = 2. I'm going to be picking Caio Borralho to win a decision against Reinier de Ridder. I think that he's going to be the better, faster fighter on the feet, and I think that's going to matter. I think his speed is going to matter a lot. Now, he is going to need good in and out movement to not get hit by those knees. Like, he's going to have to bait those knees out a lot. Otherwise, he's going to be getting hit by them. And if he's getting hit by those knees, he's going to lose. He could take down Reinier de Ridder, land some strikes. The more strikes you land on a jiu-jitsu black belt, the less their black belt matters. I promise that. It shows up so often in fighting. I'm going to be picking Caio Borralho by decision. I think it's a pretty easy fight for him. Not the easiest, but pretty easy. Next we move on to the main event. We've got Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira 2. I am so hyped up for this. This is really one of the only few fights I want to watch on this card. We got cut short of the very first fight. We didn't get to see much of it because Charles had an esophagus issue, I think, during the fight, where he couldn't breathe. He was grabbing his neck and everything, and he just stopped mid-fight. And Max, just honorable dude, didn't smash him down. But man, let's get our pick in. All right. And that brought it to light. I think Charles's aggressive style is going to play into Max's elusive style, if you will. Now, what makes me feel more like this is actually going to happen is because of everything I've seen. Charles has been talking about making this a fight and a war. All the footage I've seen is not of him grappling. I haven't seen anything of him grappling. That makes me nervous that, that Max Holloway is going to get him to stand with him the entire time and not shoot any takedowns. And Charles Oliveira is a dude who's capable of taking down dudes like Gamrot and controlling them on the ground. So I know that if he gets down Max Holloway, he could control him and submit him potentially. But it's just, I don't think he's going to even attempt a takedown. That's the kind of reads I'm getting from this. Until he's hurt, maybe. Once he's hurt, maybe his muscle memory kicks in and he actually decides to shoot a takedown. But I think we're going to get a round 2 TKO of Charles Oliveira. I don't think we're making it to the point down. I think it's either going to be round 2 or round 4. I don't know why one of the even numbers is kicking out to me. But I think it's going to be round 2 or 4. Mark my words. Yeah. Anyways. I've got Max Holloway. I think he's going to knock out Charles Oliveira. I think that the at-range striking is going to be way too much for Oliveira. Oliveira's best weapon at that is going to be a straight right and his leg kick. Maybe his left hook. He's going to be landing on Max Holloway, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe he knocks out Max and we're all surprised. That would be awesome. But that's what I want to happen. But I don't think it does. Anyways, these are my picks. I've got Max Holloway. We will re-go through them. We will go through them again and make sure that, you guys see all the picks. I've got Max Holloway by round 2 KO. Caio Bahaglio by decision. Rob Font by KO round 2. Drew Dober by KO round 2. Bruno Ferreira by KO round 2. I feel like a lot of this is sticking out, huh? Dante Johnson by... we skipped one. My bad, fellas. Cody Garbrandt by decision. Dante Johnson by KO round 1. Alberto Montez by submission round 2. Cody Durden by decision. We got Jesus Aguilar by submission or by decision. We got Rafael Tobias by submission round 1. And then Jung Young Lee by decision. In the very opening fight, we've got Luke Fernandez by KO round 1. These are my picks, guys. If you want to follow them, beware. It was blinker season, and I, did blinkers for almost all the fights. Then had to stop and just to do normal hits because my lungs couldn't handle it, I guess. Whatever. Thank you, Rigo, for permission to do the blinker fight picks. I appreciate that. These are my 5 picks. Enter the Tapology group to join our competition to try to win $100 against me and my friends in my group. Uh, those are my picks. I have a 64% pick rate or something like that on the year. Follow me if you want. Subscribe, like, comment. Bye.